Welcome back, guys. Carter, BBT. Getting a little bit of time today to go in and actually start servicing some more of the hardware in here. And some people ask, like, are all of our rigs set up on the racks only? And no, we do have different configurations. You guys have seen the gray matter cases before that we've had. We also have some of the Roswell cases. So a lot of the Sapphire, RX, the 470, the 480s that we have, the 8 gig and 4 gig variants, all set on the risers. And I'll show you guys here with some B-roll rolling over and how we just have those set. They're very light GPUs. We can quickly switch things out, clean things up, and move them without having to, unscrew things. So we like having that. But for the GPUs that are actually like 5700, the larger like 1070, 1080, 1080 Ti's, we have some NVIDIA rigs. Those rigs actually, the cards are so big, we just don't want to set them on one of the normal nodes. So we actually have those in cases. So we've tried a couple different cases out there. We have gray matter cases that we spent and bought. We have Roswell cases that we went and done with those. And you have to clean those just like anything else, but they do allow the GPU to sit in there more appropriately. That's why you see some of the ones that I do, when I'm at home doing the builds with you guys on the live streams and stuff. A lot of those are just like test, machines and stuff. And nobody sends us any of this stuff. We buy this, we test it, we try different things out. So I'll take you guys through a couple of the example of the rig type that we have. That way you guys can kind of see in the farm. So here we go. We got some Roswell set up here. I mean, don't mind the cable management. Some of these things just got moved over here. We do normally, we're working on some shelving down here and moving these up. So these just got moved and reset back up. Already tore some cards and stuff out of this one. The Roswell here running. So these are the ones that have bigger GPUs in them. So the 1080 Ti's, some of the NVIDIA cards are running inside these different gray matter cases. I mean, these are great cases, but they were kind of expensive at the time. These were bought in 2017 at some of the staging areas. Some of this obviously is dusted. We moved some of these rigs over here. You guys can see kind of how we've mounted these down on there. And, this is one of the rigs that needs to be cleaned up and make it pretty simple. We wanted it to where we can maintenance things super easy with a lot of these different rigs. Just going down one of the rows here and everything running, I can quickly service a GPU. Also, somebody had pointed out that they always see an extra GPU. So these are 8 card. They're set up for 8 card, but we only run 7 on most of these boards. So we have always an extra riser. We did that to where we could just check to see very quickly if it was the riser that was having a problem. So we have an extra spare always there, so we can quickly move a GPU over there, reboot the rig, make sure. So it's kind of on the fly maintenance. These are kind of things that you end up picking up, always bringing a riser over, and you have to end up fixing that. So you can see a few of these where we've tested some GPUs, pulled some GPUs that we're having an issue here, and can quickly fix the GPU and bring it right back to its particular rack and setup here. They do get some kind of a lean here. This one's been pulled out and just kind of sitting there. So as we've been going through, we mark them, put a dot on top of them, and then come back and pick them up. But yeah, a lot of them, they set fine. These smaller Sapphire cards do set in order and stand up fine. You can see them, they get down here in the shelving here, and they kind of go down pretty straightforward. So, and then you can see some of our power set up here, where these are all 30 amp connections. There were some questions with some of the power and how that is set up. So, on this particular rack, each rack has 6 of these, and then we have a couple down here on each of the walls to get the lower portions of the rack. So there's a total of 9 per major rack here. And then some of these racks on this side over here are actually longer than these ones over here. So these actually have 12. So you can see some of the power setups that we have going on there for this particular one. And then everything runs over to these panels over here to where we can individually control the main core sets of all the racks. And then that brings us over here. Quickly go over here. You guys can kind of see kind of our staging area, whole bunch of extra risers because you never know when you need those. And then here is the current power setup. Now this is 3,000 amps, 208, and that obviously is a large transformer in the back, master switch over here, and then each of the main that are controlling all those silver boxes. So on this one, you can see that we have 3 per because we had to get 12 on this rack. And I'm gonna have a diagram come out in a future video on kind of the powering setup and some of the architecture we had to do to make that work. But I just wanted to give you guys an overview today. I still have a lot more to do. I'm headed back on Friday, so wanted to give you guys kind of an update. Hopefully this was a quick insight website, and it allows you guys to ask more questions. We can get you guys some, so hopefully that was pretty cool, guys. Sorry for the little lighting here. We got some of the lightings turned off here. Oh, we got one of the big fans off. This is the one that was making the noise on the last video, and we got to do some, there's 4 grease points on that, and we got to clean that up because it was doing some squeaking. That's one of the other maintenance things that we're going to do today. I'm going to capture some B-roll for that. They'll let you guys see how that process goes. Yeah, and try to bring some more. So do ask your question. We have the ultrasonic detail on the ultrasonic cleaning. Clarify that too. We're not doing it to every card. We do the ultrasonic cleaning to cards that we're having issues with. So like if a card is artifacting or it's just having a lot of issues, not stable, we'll clean it up. We may even have to bake it, figuring if there's some micro fractures in the traces or in some of the, you know, the solder there, we can do a light bake, and we'll show you guys through that process to try to recover the cards. I mean, that process, it looks like very tedious, but if we can recover a couple $100 GPU, it's worth it. But yeah, we'll bring you guys more detail on the ultrasonic cleaner on the next video. But yeah, keep those questions coming, guys. I'll try to answer what I can here. Peace.